Scotty, why did it take you so long to show us this version of yourself? You finally figured it out that you need to score alongside doing everything else that you are capable of doing on that court. But why did it take so long? It's more frustrating when you know how similar the regular season and the postseason were for this team. They had a limited offense and limited rebounding ability. They had injuries to deal with, and the roster construction was poor. Yet now is when you want to show that you can be that guy. I get it. Regular season is not as important as the postseason. Scotty made more of an impact showing that he can be that guy in the postseason because that's when the lights are the brightest and where legacies are defined. But still, why take this long? Was this the plan the entire time? Did you just not feel the need to take the regular season seriously? Do you have it? Are you the guy that has that switch that you can just turn on and off whenever you feel like it? Because I'm just trying to figure it out. And I think other fans are trying to figure it out too. I mean, we're probably never going to get an actual answer. Maybe not until he retires, but why take this long? It was impressive. It was impressive against all that talent on the Cavaliers, the highest payroll in NBA history, a team that has a former MVP and a former Defensive Player of the Year, guys who have been on all NBA teams and all defensive teams and made all-star games. A bunch of other guys who have been on teams that made deep playoff runs, like all that experience. And Scotty was the best player in that series. It made no sense considering how the regular season went. There was no indication that he was going to do this. You allowed people to disrespect you. And now going into next season, you can't take a step back. This has to be a consistent thing, at least against the top teams in the league. Against the middling teams, against the tanking teams, like, you still got to put in some effort, but I don't think you have to wear yourself out. Those games should be reserved for the secondary guys and the bench players to step up. But against the top teams in the league, you better show up. Not just next season, but the seasons following that. It's hard to support somebody when it's like you want to pick and choose when you want to show up. If you just gave us the consistency, we wouldn't be as harsh. I've said this in other videos. You are giving people a reason to attack you, to be highly critical of you, and it's deserving. Because if you're capable of this, if you had the ability the entire time, because the way you made it look, it seemed like you had it. You just didn't care enough to want to be aggressive scoring the basketball. Because that was the missing piece. That opens things up for everybody else. This is why Scotty is the franchise. Now, I guess maybe, okay, not everything is that easy. Sacrifices have to be made in order for questions to be answered, I guess. But if he had shown this in the regular season, they probably would have been put in a better position standings-wise and would still be in the playoffs right now. They'd probably be fighting or have already advanced into the Eastern Conference Finals because Detroit is not that good. We saw how the Cavs played against the Raptors. And it would have forced the hand, at least if he had shown up in the regular season, standings wise, obviously, but what also would have helped is forcing the hand of the front office to make the necessary move of getting a center, which would have helped them with one of their flaws, which would have then complemented the other defensive thing that they're good at, which is forcing turnovers. Now they can rebound force turnovers. Now teams have to be highly efficient against the Raptors in order to beat them, and the Raptors don't have to do this nonsensical back and forth with a 3-point shootout. They can just play how they want to on offense. Because the rebounding isn't just for the defensive end, it can also be for the offensive end. Because the Raptors being limited offensively and having these long droughts, now you have somebody that can help you minimize that by giving you second and third chance opportunities and wearing down the opponent as the game is going on. That all adds up to where these teams have to be highly efficient, and they have to try and manage their stamina throughout the entire game. And they can't do that. They're just banking on the Raptors missing and not being able to do anything about it. In order, every opponent's defensive scheme is let the Raptors beat themselves. And because you didn't want to show it, you allowed the defensive scheme to flourish of the opposing team. It didn't need to be like this. You could have put yourself in a better position standings-wise, would still probably be in the playoffs. And this progress of getting back to being a contender would be a lot more quicker. Hell, this could have been something you could have done last season and the season before that. Just show us that you have the capability of doing it, and then we can just be like, okay, he has the ability. Let's just sit back. Unless he's just that good that it would make such a difference that all the tanking that was being suggested and was being done would have never happened. We probably would have never gotten Jacoby or CMB. There's a good chance we probably would have gotten Shed because he was a second round pick. But we probably wouldn't have gotten those two guys. Again, sacrifices had to be made. A price was paid, and hopefully Scottie understands now what needs to be done, because people are going to come after him if he has another lackluster performance in the regular season. But if this is the game plan going forward, where this team figured something out to where they don't have to exert unnecessary energy over 82 games and they can just find a way into the playoffs, because I don't like this fan base at times when they give way too much credit to the opposing teams. They're not that good, and the Raptors showed that. It's great to see, but it's also, again, frustrating because we ask ourselves, and we're asking the players, where was this effort in the regular season? Was this a part of the game plan? I mean, I'm being repetitive at this point, but I want an answer, and I know other people want an answer too. It makes no sense for this to have been lying dormant for this long, because now the expectation is this team could probably make this process go a lot more faster. A lot of questions were answered. Now, will the front office make the necessary moves? Were their hands forced enough from this playoff series to make the jump of getting a center finally, and making a few moves here and there? Because I know I see it and a bunch of other fans see it. The rest of the league is not that dangerous. Oklahoma City is probably the only team, but everybody else it's free real estate. You could be anywhere. Preferably at the top is where we want you to be. But it all comes down to whether or not you care. And hopefully this was the start of something. Because if it wasn't, and they regress, there's going to be a problem. But Scottie has proven to be the guy. He is the franchise. It sucks that it took this long, It sucks for him that people have constantly been bashing him, but he deserved it. He deserved it because you waited until now to show us. And I've been dragging on the video for too long now. I think I said everything I needed to say. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I mean, wait, let me say this. Darko might have been right that Scotty's going to be a face of the league. Because if he keeps this up, after what we saw again, 2 7-footers could not stop him. One of them being a former Defensive Player of the Year. Darko could have been right when he was doing that rant. Scotty is probably going to be the face of the league if he keeps this up. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.